For so many of us, the family home is way more than just a house. It's where a lifetime of memories are made. But as the years go by, this huge question starts to bubble up. Is it time to downsize? Today on The Explainer, we're really going to unpack this deeply personal decision. And as you'll see, the best choice isn't just about the money. It's about what you want for your future.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off by exploring why so many people are actually staying put. Then we'll dive deep into the real financial pros and cons. After that, we'll talk about the emotional side of a move like this, how you can find the right kind of support, and ultimately, how you can feel really empowered about whatever comes next.
So what's the big dilemma here? On one hand, downsizing seems like such a logical, natural step. But on the other, a surprising number of older homeowners are kind of digging in their heels. Let's figure out why that for sale sign just isn't going up on so many lawns.
This is the question on literally everyone's mind. In a market like this, with mortgage rates being what they are, does it even make financial sense to move? The headlines might be screaming no, but trust me, the real answer is so much more personal and nuanced than a simple yes or no.
And wow, the numbers really tell a story here. A recent Redfin survey is pretty eye-opening. Nearly a third of boomers say they're never going to sell. And for the silent generation, it's almost half of them. A huge part of this is something people are calling golden handcuffs. So many have either paid off their homes completely or have these incredibly low mortgage rates that make the idea of moving and getting a new loan seem, kind of crazy.
Okay, so even with all that hesitation to move, there are some really powerful financial reasons to consider downsizing in today's market. Let's take a look at how selling could actually give your bottom line a serious boost.
First up, and this is a big one, the sheer value that's locked inside the walls of your home. Home equity is at an all-time high. The average homeowner is sitting on over $200,000 in cash value they could potentially access. Just imagine turning that equity into a travel fund, a bigger retirement cushion, or even a way to help out your grandkids.
And then you've got the endless, draining cost of upkeep. Just look at this comparison. A single-family home costs, on average, over $10,000 a year to maintain. Now compare that to a condo, which is less than a third of the cost. That's thousands of dollars back in your pocket every single year, not to mention way fewer weekends spent on home repairs.
And the savings can be absolutely traumatic in other areas too. Homeowners insurance costs thousands a year, while renters insurance, it's just a tiny fraction of that. Moving to a smaller home or maybe even renting could slash this bill in a huge way.
Okay, but it's not all sunshine and savings, right? Let's flip over to the other side of the ledger and look at some of the potential financial drawbacks that could really complicate your decision.
Now let's talk about the biggest financial hurdle of them all, capital gains tax. If you've lived in your home for decades, chances are its value has just skyrocketed. And when you sell, the government wants a piece of that profit. This example from AARP is a huge wake-up call. A couple was looking at a tax bill of almost $400,000. Now, there are exemptions that can protect a big chunk of your profit, but for high-value homes like this one, that tax bill can still be absolutely staggering.
And what about moving to a condo to save all that money on upkeep? You gotta be careful. Because of inflation, those fees for amenities and maintenance have shot up. Look at this client's experience. Their monthly fee almost tripled over the years. That could totally wipe out any savings you thought you were getting from the move. And here's another long-term factor to think about: legacy. Historically, single-family homes just appreciate in value much more reliably than condos do. So if one of your goals is to pass on the most valuable asset you can to your children, selling the family home for a condo might actually work against that.
Okay, let's totally shift gears now, because this decision goes so much further than just the numbers on a spreadsheet. There are some really significant human challenges and emotional things to consider.
Because let's be honest, the biggest roadblocks often have zero to do with money. They're about leaving a home that is just filled to the brim with memories, about facing a massive logistical challenge, and about navigating a huge life transition. This is where the spreadsheets stop and the real human story begins.
And that list of hurdles, it's a long one. There's that powerful emotional attachment to a family home, right? And then the totally overwhelming task of sorting through an entire lifetime of possessions. And what about the logistics of coordinating with family who might live all over the country? These things require a very special kind of support.
So how in the world do you juggle all of that financial complexity with this huge emotional weight?
Well, the answer really lies in finding a guide who truly understands that this isn't just another real estate transaction. Because of this exact problem, a new kind of service has started to pop up, one that offers a much more compassionate, holistic approach. These specialists get it. They know they're not just selling a piece of property, they're helping a family navigate a major life event.
So what should you actually look for in a guide? One really clear sign is specialized training. A certification like the CSA, which stands for Certified Senior Advisor, means a professional has been specifically educated to handle all the unique emotional and logistical needs that come with this kind of transition. And what that really means for you is that the whole experience just changes. It stops feeling like some high-pressure sale, and it starts feeling like a genuine partnership, one that's built on empathy and is focused on your well-being, not just the final closing price.
All right, let's pull all of these different threads together. With all this information, we can start to build a really clear path forward so you can make this important decision with total confidence.
Okay, so here it is, your 4-step framework for making a confident choice. First, you've got to run the numbers. Weigh that equity you'll unlock against the taxes and the fees. Second, compare your current costs with what future costs might look like. Third, and this is crucial, be really honest about the human side of the move. And fourth, find a guide who can help you balance that whole equation, making sure both your financial and your personal needs are met. You see, in the end, this isn't just about where you're going to live, it's about how you're going to live. It's a real chance to design the next chapter of your life with intention and purpose. So the real question isn't just, should I downsize? It's, what kind of life do I really want to build next?